to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Pumpkin Spice at Mansky.
I'm lowest common denominator, Justin Dracula DeClue. Dracula 2000 DeClue.
I always forget we have to do this.
Well, the last episode never came out, so I just reused what I said there.
Oh, I can't even remember.
I think it was like Colin,
coughing.
Coughing Cunningham.
No, Colin, Jerry C. Cunningham.
Ooh, that's good. So this is an amazing week, you guys. It's the beginning of our spooktacular because we are 1 week late. We'll probably have to go
and end of our spooktacular.
Probably have to go into really far into November this year.
The 1 week spectacular.
Yeah, it's coming out the last week of
the one
October.
episode.
Wait, let me get them in.
But so it is a spooky movie, but also a movie starring Jerry B. And not only that, Jerry B. as Dracula.
Oh, it's
I'm in
amazing.
heaven, you guys.
Wait, but you missed the last part of a full new metal soundtrack.
That's right. Although the new metal didn't really take front and center like it did in, say, Queen of the Damned.
You know what?
One.
I agree with you. And I was
one.
going to go through the new metal soundtrack, and I want you to yay or nay these songs, April.
I didn't like really recognize
Or
any
pass.
of them.
Well, you know, like a lot of soundtracks, sometimes they're just songs on the album that like maybe they're not featured. I think the only one I really
Inspired
spotted
by Dracula 2000.
was a Monster Magnet song that Dracula watches the music video and he's like, brilliant.
Was that a real band?
We thought that was
Monster
a fake
Magnet.
band.
It looked fake.
No, you don't know Monster Magnet?
I don't.
Okay, so wait. Ultra Mega by Powerman 5000. Yay, nay, or pass?
I'm gonna pass.
Welcome Burden, Disturbed.
Oh, that definitely yay if it's just
Yeah, yay. The Metro, System of a Down.
Yes, I love that song. Yay.
One Step Closer, Linkin Park.
Also yay. I like that.
Otsego, Undead, Static X.
I like Static X, so that
Okay,
gets a
so you're
yay
gonna give
for
a yay?
me too. Yeah.
What
So,
about Pantera? Is that a band you listen to? That feels more
I
like
mean, a little bit, but I was less
heavy
into
metal.
Yeah, it was less into
And Your
Pantera.
Disease, Saliva. No.
I'll pass on that one. I think I've heard of Saliva. I don't know.
Well, April needs to look at the tattoos she got in the mid 2000s. What bands were her favorite that
She's got a mirror. She's got like 2 mirrors now.
Yeah.
She's looking on her back.
I mean, this was actually
She has the whole
Colin's
Dracula
pick.
2000 soundtrack tattoos.
This was Colin's pick, but it was my idea. So
yeah,
it's
I had another
technically my
suggestion,
pick.
which we'll probably leave.
Well, I'll have to come up with something new next week.
I know
but
you wanted to do this, and I always kind of poo-pooed this movie because I don't know. I didn't think it would be very good or
And he
whatever.
was wrong
Holy
because
crap,
it's
was
great.
I think I kind of love this movie.
It's
This
definitely
movie is so much fun, and
Yeah.
it's not the first time. This month, my pal Piers Dirks did it on his stream, and he was like, "This movie is fun," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I know."
It was always at the bottom of my list because I just assumed it would be a piece of crap. It is not a piece of crap, man. This is such a fun movie.
It's very cheesy. I'll put it that way.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's why it's so
Yeah.
good.
It's
It knows what it
very.
is.
What is that in the title? 2000.
So is.
I was so stupid yesterday. I was like, oh, April, what year did this come out?
Well, and then I had to be like, don't you remember all the 2000 movies that came out around 2000?
Blues
Yeah.
Brothers 2000. Wait, that one came out
Fantasia
way
2000.
better before. Blues Brothers 2000 came out in 1998.
Oh
yeah,
God,
it was
did
a
it
little
really?
early.
Yeah.
Well, I will like never watch that.
But then the
movie.
N64 game came out like a couple of years after that.
What?
You didn't know there was a Blues Brothers N64
No.
game? It's one of the worst N64
sure it's
games of all time.
I'm sure it's terrible. Is it worse than that Superman N64 game?
Well, that game's pretty bad, but it did come out November 17, 2000, the Blues Brothers 2000 game. They came out right under the wire.
Oh my God.
Oh, man, this game is rare ass as you can be. Like, just looking at the cover, you expect, like, Banjo-Kazooie to be like...
I love Rare. Everybody's so down on Rare. Oh, man. Now we're getting back to video game chat, but let's talk about the movie.
Okay, Dracula 2000. So this movie starts with, what's this? The last voyage of the Demeter? Demi something?
Demeter.
Yeah. That hit movie we all loved, right?
Yeah, this is. I haven't seen it yet. I actually want to.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah. Directed by Patrick Lussier. This guy's directed quite a bit of movies, including 2 sequels to this.
2 DTV sequels to this.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the sequels, Justin?
Well, I don't know how they came about, but Patrick Lussier was, first and foremost, he's Wes Anderson's editor. Wait, Wes
What?
Anderson? No, not Wes Anderson.
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven.
Oh, for
Which
God's
is
sake.
why- that'd be so funny.
Oh my god. Okay,
And
that
his
makes
Wes
more
He's like,
sense.
I edit
Craven's-
for Wes, and they're like, oh, Wes Anderson? Yeah, let's say that.
A very famous Wes.
So like he edited Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3. I think he even did Scream 4, unless I'm mistaken. He did Red Eyes. Like he was really involved with. I keep on saying Wes Anderson, Wes Craven,
Wes Craven.
and he was also in the Dimension like factory,
Right, which
'Cause-
was like Miramax's kind of
Yep.
dumping ground for schlocky
Well, it was
kind of
like-
genre movies.
It was run by Bob Weinstein, brother to Harvey Weinstein.
Got it.
And they got into the DTV game in the 2000s, maybe because, like, I don't know why, to keep rights. Like, Romania was very available, or Bulgaria to shoot stuff, which is where I think they shot Dracula. It's not called 2000 Part 2, I wish. I think it's just called Dracula 2.
And then Dracula
Accession.
3.
Yeah.
But I think they're presented by Wes Craven.
Yeah, they all are. Dracula 2000 Part 2 is interesting because it's the original premise of this movie, which is a bunch of students kidnap Dracula and they're prepared for him, and it turns into kind of like a Reservoir Dog situation where everybody's turning against each other as Dracula's like trapped at the bottom of a pool with like a light shining on him.
Oh, okay.
And
That sounds like Suicide Kings if it was
exactly
like Dracula.
if there was a Dracula.
instead of a Christopher Walken.
That one has a gag that I will always remember, is that they set up all these traps for Dracula that in case he escapes, they can like activate these traps. And one of them is an old myth that if you drop rice in front of Dracula, he has to count every grain of rice.
Yes.
I brought that up recently.
So they throw
last
the
night.
rice at Dracula and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5,300, and like he counts it instantly, and they're like, no.
Yeah, that's I think where Count Dracula comes
Oh.
from. I think I might be wrong.
Or
but
And they
I-
or
even
he's
do
a
the
count.
like running water stuff. So it's like Patrick Lussier is like a big genre fan, and he had a lot of those ideas for this movie. And I listened to the commentary. It sounds like perhaps Weinstein said, "We're not doing that stuff." And it's like, okay, because
Well, there's-
as we get into the movie, like he wanted basically every character to know who vampires are and to be like prepared for vampires.
Right.
And they decided, no, they can't know anything about them. They have to learn about them as the movie goes along.
Which is weird because they establish in this movie that Bram Stoker's Dracula, the novel,
Is real.
exists.
Of course.
is real.
not only real but exists.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he just met. Van
Yeah.
Helsing.
I mean, we'll get to that, but we have, Canada's own Christopher Plummer.
Oh yeah, well, this is a Canadian-ass movie. It takes place mostly
Yeah.
in New Orleans, but they shot most of it in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toronto
you can
specifically.
tell.
Well, it's funny
because-
because the opening shot,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be London, and it's like that sort of inside. It's like an interior like mall with a building inside of it. I don't know how to describe it, but
It's a Chamber of Commerce in Toronto.
that is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I was losing my mind. I'm like,
I've
well,
never
that's-
visited. Where is that? Because like I've seen it in a bunch of stuff,
I
but
thought it was like right by TIFF. Kind of just
I don't
east
think I
on
visited.
King.
Like the indoor mall with a building inside of it.
I think so. I can't. Yeah, I thought I went there
Downtown
once.
somewhere.
It's downtown somewhere. We've got like what a stacked cast we have.
I
in
mean,
this
Johnny
movie.
Lee Miller.
We've got Johnny, hacker
The
himself.
hacker himself.
So speaking of what I talked about the script, Johnny Lee Miller signed on as a vampire hunter, and then when he got to shooting, he's like, "Wait, I'm just some dum dum who doesn't know anything," and he was supposedly not very pleased about it.
He's like a main character, though.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
He is, but he's like, "Dude, what's going on? Oh,
Yeah.
vampires!"
No, he's like a Cockney, a dum dum.
His accent, it's like I guess this is like his real accent.
I guess.
He's got like it's like Jason Statham accent, but less gruff.
East London.
Oi.
Yeah.
Oi, Mr. Van Helsing.
I mean,
Yeah, and he works for Van Helsing, played by Christopher Plummer. And Christopher Plummer is continually going like, "Ah, yes, my grandfather, Van Helsing.
Yes.
They think that I'm related to Dracula. Ha ha ha! It's not true. But that little smug asshole,
Yeah,
it
of
is
course.
true, and he knows.
You know it's him. And what did he say? He's like, how my grandfather found himself the inspiration for that Bram Stoker story, I'll have no idea. He was
And
just
it's not like it was me, and I've lived this long because I've been sucking Dracula's blood with leeches and injecting them into myself.
I mean, as you do, right?
Yeah, as you do.
He is just a country doctor with a antique business. That's it.
I always get him confused with Max von Sydow. Not
Christopher Plummer?
Yeah, and like, is he not doing like an accent in this that
Yes.
is
Yeah, he
very
is doing
Max
an
von
accent.
Sydow-esque?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
So now I'm even more confused.
Oh, he's like German. He's supposed to be, I think.
Well, Max von Sydow is German or Dutch or
Swedish.
Swedish. So we were probably all wrong.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
Well, you didn't
Mr.
go through the
von
whole
Sydow.
cast because we have Johnny Lee Miller. We have, like you said, Christopher Plummer, Vitamin C.
Yeah, Vitamin C, who Colin, of course, doesn't know who that is.
Never
was a-
in my life heard of this person.
That was a big hit
Remember.
song when we were in elementary school.
I have no idea what you're talking
I'm sure
about.
if I played it, you might know it.
Please
No,
don't.
Colin's way too old. He
Okay.
wouldn't know that.
But I mean, the big star in this is also Jennifer Esposito, as previously seen in Master of Disguise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She was in that movie. Now, I always think that Jason Scott Lee is in this movie, but he's in part 2 and 3 as a vampire
Okay.
hunter. So I kept being like, when's Jason Scott Lee coming? And then it's like, he's never coming. Oh.
We've got Omar Epps.
I love Omar Epps. I think he's a great actor. Like why didn't he?
He's fun in
why
this,
didn't he do
actually.
more?
And then we've got Nathan Fillion shows up in this movie.
That was crazy.
just
Did
randomly.
Not see that
It's
coming.
so weird.
He auditioned for the Johnny Lee Miller role, and they did
Oh.
not give it to him.
They made him like a loser priest.
He might have been
Yeah.
better. They should have swapped. Well, he plays a priest later in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, an evil priest.
Oh, that's right. He's the villain of season 7, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
or he's like the second villain. Or, I don't
Yeah.
know,
Gets taken out halfway through.
Yeah, and then also Jerry Ryan is in this 7 of 9.
That's right.
7 of 9.
And
Which
the
is
real
fantastic.
monster, Danny
Danny
Masterson.
Masterson.
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh
gives me
Jesus! We've
chills.
got rotten hell. you
Convicted
fuck.
rapist, Danny Masterson.
Never seen
And
the light of
also a favorite of mine, Sean Patrick Thomas. So he was in a lot of teen movies in the 90s. Cruel Intentions.
Sean Patrick Thomas.
Yeah, he was in Cruel Intentions. Save the Last Dance was probably the biggest one, where he was like the lead opposite Julia Stiles. He was in Can't Hardly Wait. He showed up in like everything for a long time. He was like the token black guy, and then he made fun of that in Not Another Teen Movie, which was
okay.
funny.
Yeah, and then he showed up.
And now he's in The Boys
spin-off Gen V.
Gen V. Yeah.
Is he like, I'm a teenager? It's like, oh,
Well,
no.
believe it or not, he looks he looks great, but he has like a little bit of like a gray beard going on. So, but I mean, he's eternally youthful, and he's always wearing a V-neck sweater.
Yeah, speaking of eternally youthful, Jerry B. We've got Gerard Butler himself as the titular Dracula.
Well, it takes a little
2000.
while to get to him because first Jennifer Esposito is like, good night, Christopher Plummer. All right, let's get my gang of robbers into the... Now, I love this opening scene so much, and the movie
Yeah.
never does anything like this where like Omar Epps is throwing like glass cylinders of sleeping gas.
It's like a fart. It's like a
smoke
fart bomb or something. He throws in the guy's face.
Patrick Lucy on the commentary is like, yeah, the producers didn't like this. They thought it was too Batman, the TV show. It's like, I don't know. I like it. It's fun.
It was fun.
It's fun, and it's so funny. This sequence, this heist scene. It's like they play like Matrix music. Down, 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 down. Danny Masterson, the rapist, is like dressed like Neo, pretty much. He's wearing, but it looks
Wait, isn't his name in the movie Nightshade?
something like that.
Yeah,
but
because later on they're like, night, what's going on?
he's not the only person dressed like Neo in this movie. But yeah, he's dressed like Neo, and then he has this fucking curly hair and sideburns. It just looks so bad. Idiot.
And they break in and they find that underneath the Toronto Chamber of Commerce, there's catacombs.
Yeah,
and
and they
like-
have like the big hacking close up of the hacking screen.
Oh yeah. There's
like-
there's 2 members of the gang that get killed in
Okay,
this scene.
so
Yeah.
in this scene, I was like, hey, Lachlan Moreau is in
Yeah,
this scene.
okay.
The guy that's in
that
every
guy.
movie. Oh, wait, he's dead.
But they were like, he's not cool enough to come back as a vampire. We need to just actually kill him. He
But it
in,
was
like,
illegal
one scene.
not to have Lachlan Monroe in your movie.
That is insane.
He's still in everything.
Yeah, and so they think they're gonna rob some sort of treasure or that. You
Now,
know.
originally, they knew they were robbing Dracula's tomb, which I think
Okay.
would have been more interesting.
I agree. They don't even know what it is. They're just like,
Because they're
it
just
could be
dumbasses
jewels.
who are like, dude, there's a coffin. Let's take it, I
It
guess.
probably has treasure
They
in
go,
it.
what's down here? There's just a bunch of coffee mugs, and Jennifer Esposito is like, well, they're not gonna lock this place up if there wasn't anything we were stealing. So they steal the coffin, but like they try to open the coffin, and then these big spikes come down.
Yeah.
kill Lachlan Monroe, and then
the other
kill
guy,
some anonymous guy. That I'm like, who's that? Who cares?
but it's so funny. He gets spiked. This like wall comes down or door comes down, spikes him, and then kind of goes back up again.
Yeah, and so he's like hanging on the wall with spikes through him.
He turns into like a rubber dummy at some point, and then his like little jiggly hand is just hanging from the ceiling, like with the spikes through it.
Now I feel bad for like the, I guess, technical star of this movie, Justine Waddell, because she has nothing to do in this film other than be like, oh, I'm so scared.
She's the worst part of the movie, and it's really like the character's severely underwritten.
Well, she's got nothing to do. I mean, she's introduced like 18 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this movie about?
And also, she's boring.
She has zero charisma.
Yeah,
Just
I don't like her at all.
going
And
on.
like, she's dressed stupidly, and she's
Wow.
she's wearing like pedal pushers and flip flops, and
Wait,
an
what is a
ill-fitting
pedal pusher?
They like go up to the knee. It's
Okay.
like slacks that end at the knee. And
Is this her fault? I don't think she dressed herself.
it's the character's fault.
I swear she's wearing in one scene she's wearing jorts and flip flops.
I think those are
It
the
was
pedal
the
pushers.
2000s, guys. We were all dressing like this.
Well, she's like walking with Johnny Lee Miller at one point, and the flip flop sound is so loud. It's like, like Jesus Christ.
And right from this scene, she starts having nightmares where she's imagining Dracula. Now, here's the thing. Dracula wants to have sex with her, and it's later said that he's basically his daughter, so it's incest Dracula.
Well, it's
So
like
weird.
it's so complicated and stupid, and I kind of wish that it wasn't in the movie because it just doesn't make sense why he's obsessed with Van Helsing's daughter.
He's upset. Well, he's obsessed with her because Van Helsing injected Dracula's blood, which then got transferred to her.
Yeah.
But
and
who
So
cares?
she's
He
a
can-
vampire without having to be bitten.
Yeah, he can like
Okay.
sense his own blood. That's what Christopher
And so he's
Plummer
fascinated that she could be a vampire that was born naturally.
says.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Well,
So
that wasn't clear.
during
No,
this,
it's not clear.
During this heist scene, we do get a scene of Christopher Plummer in his like office. First of all, it doesn't seem like the office is very far from the lobby. Where,
Like,
where
it feels
this,
like
right
heist. It literally feels like it's like
It's
20
like
feet
looking
next
over
door.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. How they didn't hear this, I have no idea. So he's like he's taking blood out of a leech and then injecting himself. And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
I hope that's not Dracula blood
Oh boy.
that you moved on to your own daughter. But
So, yeah.
then, it's so convoluted too. It's like it's his daughter, but she doesn't know who her father is.
Yeah,
it's
she
like
lives
doesn't
in-
really matter.
But then later she says they're estranged. She's like, I haven't talked to him in 12
Oh,
years.
I missed that. I thought
Yeah.
that she just didn't know who
So yeah,
her
she
father
lives
was.
in New Orleans and her roommate is
Toronto.
Lucy.
Vitamin C.
Who I again have never heard of in my life.
She's not bad though in this, right?
She's in Hairspray, the original
okay.
Hairspray.
Oh, so
Oh.
she was an actress probably
Yep,
before
she
she was a
was.
singer.
But
Okay.
they do a walk and talk, and I cannot understand a word Mary is saying, the main character.
Well, I
I
think they're
don't-
horribly dubbed.
I don't know if it's her accent or what. And she just has this like kind of slight, like breathy voice, and I cannot understand a word. So who knows?
And the robbers take the coffin for reasons that are unclear to them.
I guess.
on a
They-
plane,
Yeah.
and they're just—it's just a plane with that one coffin inside.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
it.
fun. Like this is like
This
this,
is a
is like the Demeter, but now we're on a plane
Yeah,
because
this
we're
is
updating it.
It's a really, really fun sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and like when he wakes up.
Yeah,
it's
Danny
like
Masterson gets
Yeah.
a
Danny-
leech in his eye.
okay, this is a funny scene. We have to talk about this because I don't know. Danny Masterson is left in the cargo hold to kind of like find a way to open the coffin, and then he like
They do, yeah.
cuts his hand, and then some of the blood goes into the coffin. You see it getting like sucked in, and then he like opens up the coffin. By the way, when you see the close-ups of this coffin, it's like clearly just made of like cardboard and spray painted silver.
Well, what are they? Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some boobery.
Were they
here.
supposed to get a real coffin?
I don't know. Yeah, he like opens up the coffin and like big fart cloud comes out, and you see
Yeah,
this,
there's
like,
some fart clouds in this.
it's like a kind of emaciated corpse with leeches on it, and then he's wearing like some sort of helmet, I guess, to protect him or protect people from getting bitten by him or something.
okay.
But then like a leech gets stuck in Danny Masterson's eyeball.
Now, we get Jerry Butler reveal himself very quickly from the, rotten corpse into the man we love. I don't know. My favorite Butler is the kind of like alcohol-soaked Butler.
Okay, he is not what he would come to be.
What
but-
he would mature into.
Yeah.
Like
He
a
is
pickled egg
Yeah,
left in the sun.
left in the sun for too long. He is like so untouched by the world in this movie. He's such
He's
a
like
baby.
Butler.
Baby Butler. It's like, wow, he's so slim and handsome.
Like it's really difficult to remember that Jerry Butler, he starred in 300. Like
Yeah.
that's what,
Yeah.
that made him a big star.
it's
so.
crazy.
After
Well,
this.
did he do Phantom of the Opera after this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, can him as Dracula just be my favorite thing because he's
Yeah.
really good.
He's great.
And like he's still Scottish. Like he can't like
He cannot hide that accent.
no.
And
And
why
it's-
does anybody even ask him to do it anymore?
I
Like,
don't know.
It's just cruel.
But it's
to
like
him.
you're Dracula. Try and he's doing his best, but like he's like really sexy and like he blows the hell out of Stuart Townsend. I'll say that.
Oh my God.
Just like another movie from around this time, but featuring a vampire. But like he's like going around and like every woman is like, oh, and even though he's wearing a ridiculous Matrix coat,
Yeah.
but he's got a lustrous head of curls.
Wow,
And
yeah.
there are some funny shots of him looking very strangely at the camera and walking weird, which is funny, but like he's hot, dude. So
Yeah.
he did a really good job.
Well, my friend Ainsley last night was saying there was like a very short window where Gerard Butler was like super hot, and then the
Yeah,
Yeah.
when did he start to go off?
I think it was
like
after
chicken
300.
left in the fridge.
Well, I remember when Phantom came out and women were like, oh, so people
Yeah.
still liked him then.
He got he beefed up for 300, and I think
Yeah.
after
do
that,
you think that just that muscle went to flab because he didn't keep it up?
well, I think it's like he became a big star at that point, but was not making good movies or big hits anymore.
Well,
after
because
300.
he went into a kind of
Just like
romantic
rom-coms.
comedy
He did rom-coms
spiral.
for a
Yeah.
while, but that's
Hey,
over.
don't forget Reign of Fire was the classic tagline.
yeah.
Eat hash.
I still have to see that, but yeah, so, like he just transitioned into action movie, himbo.
Yeah.
and like now he's just like dad. He's like
P.S. I love you.
Yeah.
well, yeah. He's your gruff like action dad.
leathery, bloated.
I think we talked about it, like that interview where he's like, I don't make B movies, or C or D movies. I make like A- movies, and it's like, who are you?
kidding? Yeah.
Kidding.
But I gotta say I love him, and like I can't talk enough about him, and we should do more of his movies on this podcast.
I
all of
get
them.
so excited every time a new movie comes out, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, does he have an accent? And oftentimes you can't tell if he's trying one for like 20 minutes.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that was the thing with the plane trailer.
Yeah.
I could not tell. And it's like, okay, hold on a second. And then even watching the movie, he's supposed to be Scottish in that
now
movie.
you can't even hear it.
And he flubs that. He can't even like.
Well, he probably just doesn't have. I think his real Scottish is like very.
It's very thick. Like, yeah. Like you can hear it when he's like, you're undone by a mirror, like Van Helsing.
Yeah, he's still Scottish.
But yeah,
he's
he's-
trying to clamp it down.
He's rolling his R's, but it's like Plane gave him an opportunity. And I think there was one scene where, okay, he's Scottish. And then for the rest of the movie, question
because
mark?
maybe they were like, Jerry, you can't be that too Scottish because the American audiences won't.
I think he's
be able
just
to understand you.
He's confused himself. Like he doesn't know what accent he's
Who
doing
am
anymore.
I? He's like Christian Bale in that like rant that he had on the set of Terminator, whatever,
Salvation.
where it's like, his accent was like just flying all over the place, and it's because when you do it so long, it's like Austin Butler's disease,
Yeah.
Wasn't
where
it
it's like, I'm
uh,
trapped as Elvis. For
Was
the
it Gary?
rest of
Was
my
it Gary
life.
Oldman who said like, I don't know what my accent is anymore because I've done so many accents.
Yeah. It's just like this mishmash of whatever. But oh man.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys have seen Den of Thieves, but Den of Thieves 2,
haven't.
Pantera is in
What?
post-production. Yeah.
Okay, we have to watch Den of Thieves, and
Big Nick O'Brien.
I also want to do Law Abiding Citizen on this podcast at some point. Which we have
Maybe
not
I'll
done.
like it more this time.
Law
So
Abiding Citizen.
anticlimactic.
It's
Oh,
trash, but
it's
it's
great.
Like, it's so disgusting.
Anyway, back to Dracula.
Oh yeah, vampire flight. So Masterson is murdered by Dracula
gruesomely, and we go yay.
Yeah, and then
Well, he'll be back though, unfortunately.
Yes.
Well, not anymore, not in real life.
What about that letter you guys signed about his?
We did not. We are so sorry. We did not know that letter would be seen by anyone. We're gonna film this outside by a shed.
No makeup. That means we're real.
Yeah.
People listening to this now are like, what are they talking about?
Well, so Jerry B comes back to life. He takes out everybody on this plane. It's fantastic.
And then he bites Cameron Esposito,
Jennifer
Esposito.
Right.
And so she becomes one of his brides, which
Yeah.
I like that they included the brides in this. You don't see them in every Dracula movie.
Yeah, he kind of has a vision of, after he comes out of his coffin, of Mary, and they kind of have this dual world kind of, they can see each other.
Yeah, and then Vitamin C walks through him and he disappears into a cloud.
He turns into a fart cloud.
He fart clouds. Yeah. But it's funny because he's like a corpse and then he reanimates.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad special effect. There's some good effects in this and some bad effects.
Yeah. You know the best thing this movie did, or when it decided to be R-rated, because I could easily see, and this is what I always assumed, and why I was never interested in watching it, because it was just going to be some lame PG-13 crap. No, this is R. It's funny. He walks into an airport or like a bus station, or say he arrives in New Orleans, and you can tell it's Mardi Gras because everyone is wearing stupid hats and beads.
Yeah.
And then he just happens to watch on the TV that Jerry Ryan is the plane crashed in a New Orleans swamp. And she says, I'm here at a swamp of death tonight.
I guess then they were going to okay, now let me film me saying that my outro, that we're going to air later. Well, also Shane West is her cameraman, who is another teen heartthrob at the time. I'm sure you guys don't know him, but I know him. He was
From
a big deal.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
He was in League of Extraordinary
Tom
Gentlemen.
Sawyer.
Yes.
Which I did not know. He's got the most 90s beard, chin beard,
goatee
scarf thing.
kinda
Yeah,
thing.
and spiky hair. But on the TV, and she goes, we have some images of the corpses. Some sensitive viewers may want to turn away. These are the most grisly photos. They would never show this on TV.
If it bleeds, it
leads. There's a fun scene in this where you see Jerry Ryan's and something's cutting her throat, and it's because Dracula, we're looking through the camera lens.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yep.
No reflection. Also, you can't, it is a lens. So
Yeah.
sure.
I guess he walks out of the swamp and finds the two of
He's
them.
dripping wet.
There is nobody else
he is.
around. This
Yeah.
is this plane crashes. Not a single soul around anywhere except for Jerry Ryan and her cameraman. There'd be
she got there
cops all
first.
over this place and
Well,
for forensics teams.
Later on, we learned that they took the bodies to I guess a church somewhere and just left them empty.
It was an impromptu morgue, but it was in a town hall. But it just looks like a child's gymnasium.
Yeah, it was like a gymnasium.
Yeah, it's like a I don't know. It's like some small town in the middle of nowhere or something like that. But it's really funny. But you see that in plane crashes where they use hangars or something as kind of impromptu morgues.
But anyway, Jerry Ryan is going to become bride number 2. And I love that they just were let's just get 3 hot actresses and then just have them writhe around, and that's their role. And who's the hottest woman on TV right now? Well,
709.
Yeah, Jerry B.
Well,
welcome.
Ally McBeal, number 1 in that Dancing Baby, but we can't get them. So next up, Jerry Ryan.
I'm not having a dancing baby as my bride.
I don't know if she's quite buxom enough to be a vampire.
She was too busy dressing up for Halloween with Harrison Ford. Have you seen the costumes that they do?
Yes.
No.
They do couples costumes.
Oh my
told me,
God.
but I haven't seen.
He
the
always looks
pictures.
so miserable too.
He looks like a podcast I recently listened to described it as a dog you put a costume on and they can't shake it off.
Oh, poor
And they're not
Harrison
even really fancy ones. It looks like they asked an assistant to go to Shoppers Drug Mart and pick them up whatever they had left on the shelf.
Go to the dollar store and pick up.
Yeah, just give me a costume.
a sexy dog.
Okay, so we have to mention
Just
other
looking at the picture.
the other character. Okay, hang
He's
on,
dressed
let me
as just a pea.
He's like
let
a
me
pot
look
of
at this
peas.
picture. That's Harrison Ford.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh
God.
my God, he looks so embarrassed to be alive.
He dressed as a nerd and as a nun.
Okay.
God.
We have to mention the Virgin Megastore, which must have paid mega
They
bucks
did not.
to be.
They did not. On the
Are you
commentary, they
kidding me?
say
This is
they did not
insane.
pay. That they just included it because they thought it would be funny that Dracula shows up at a Virgin Megastore.
Is it because of the name Virgin?
Maybe, probably.
It's not just that he shows up at a Virgin Megastore. It's like earlier on, Mary is wearing a Virgin Megastore shirt.
They both work there.
They have a fight in a parking lot with a Virgin Megastore
truck.
Truck. It's like everywhere.
How could they have not paid? Like
I don't know.
On the
Richard
commentary, the
Branson,
producer's like, "Did we even get a discount?" And he's like, "I don't know."
That's insane to me. Like, why is it? It's just everywhere. I guess because they thought it would be funny. I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
that's all that people remember about this movie, though. Is like,
It's true.
But it's not even like they only go to the Virgin Megastore like 3 times, I think. But
Only
it's just
3 times.
It's just that the advertising is so present and
Yeah.
it's so like 2000. So you're like, ugh.
But also, it would be funnier if like Mary being a virgin was a thing. It's not.
Yeah,
like
no.
it's not even mentioned. It's not like. Well, to another movie that came out around this time, End of Days. That was another. It's going to be the year 2000.
Oh, I love that
and
movie.
the devil, played by Gabriel Byrne, needs to fuck this virgin to spawn Satan or whatever. So it would have been more sense if she worked at the Virgin Megastore.
It'd be a funny gag. She's wearing a shirt that says Virgin.
Yeah, but no, we're not doing that.
Maybe that's in the deleted scenes.
Oh, maybe. But so Van Helsing tracks these corpses down to this town hall somewhere. Again, nobody around.
The most
Just him.
inexpensive
Yeah, you're right.
place we can shoot at, please.
But it's like, and then he has all these contraptions. I'm like, this is like Hugh Jackman Van Helsing, like tools and,
Love
and
it.
gadgets.
Speaking of Hugh Jackman, Dracula gets shot earlier, and the bullet he just pulls the bullets out just like Wolverine.
No,
Is very similar.
I do want to say as well that this film is shot by Peter Pao, a very famous Hong Kong cinematographer.
really.
Who shot Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, John Woo's The Killer,
no shit.
Naked Killer, Eagle Shooting Heroes,
Well, there's
Warriors
some-
of Virtue.
There's some good action in this.
Yeah, I'll say it's great.
choreographed by Koichi Sakamoto, the director of, what is it, Legend of the Bloody Boy?
Oh no!
Oh shit!
Yeah, what
Previous
was-
episode.
Yeah, the action scenes are well shot and they're well choreographed.
Good stunts.
Oh.
There's a stunt in this scene
Yeah,
particular.
where a guy falls off a balcony. And you
Holy
just see
shit.
him like,
And he
woo!
just goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He hits the floor.
like really hard, and it looks yeah.
Devin's Ghost, Legend of the Bloody Boy is the
Oh
movie I
my
was
God.
talking about. That's one. I'm shocked I haven't played that during one of my horror movie marathons.
Well,
So am I.
Keep it in mind for next year.
Maybe we
We're
can
all
talk
gonna
about
be,
it on the
I'll
toilet.
be sitting on the can while I scream that one.
Yeah.
Listen to the episode to get that joke if you don't know what it is.
So you have a fight scene here. Van Helsing comes to kill all the corpses. Again, he knows they're going to come back to life. Johnny Lee Miller has like been trailing him and catches up, and he still doesn't know what's going on. So they fight everybody here. It's some fun. Omar Epps is having some fun.
Well, Christopher Plummer gets it, right?
No, not here.
Oh,
He gets it
that's
later.
not here?
No.
Oh. Because I feel like he's like gone halfway through the movie.
Spoiler.
No, yeah, he dies off screen, and his daughter finds him, and she's like, "Daddy."
Well, that's lame.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is a pretty good action.
he should have come back as a vampire and be like, I'm a
Yeah,
vampire."
Christopher Plummer vampire.
He's like, I'm not coming back in
Although
this fucking movie.
he like is a vampire, right? Because he's been
Yeah, he is
injecting
kind of
himself
a
with
vampire.
Dracula's blood,
Yes, he just
but he
gets.
doesn't have pointy teeth.
He's just immortal as long as he keeps injecting his blood. He said like just enough to stay alive.
Okay, but why did he do this?
They explain this right now.
Okay.
So after they defeat all these vampires, I think Masterson is
See you in
actually
hell,
killed.
Masterson. Yeah, he gets shot by like a bunch of silver
Yeah.
crosses.
Yeah, so it's a really funny scene. They drive away in a van. Johnny Lee Miller's like, what the fuck is going on back there? And then, we get some flashback, I guess. Oh, it's actually Van Helsing. All the stories were true.
So
And-
you see a scene of like an old timey Christopher Plummer, and supposedly this was the opening of the movie that was supposed to be shot like a Hammer horror film, and
Right.
they said we're going to cut that out. So you
Yeah,
just get quick flashes of it here.
Yeah, they show a shot at the beginning of the movie and then just fade away into present day. But yeah, they capture Dracula. They kind of like cage him, and then all these people come from different directions and stab him with, I guess, silver like
rods.
blades or something like that. And then somebody stabs through Dracula into hint to Christopher Plummer, and so I guess he gets some of his blood in Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
But then he says like he doesn't know how to kill Dracula for some reason.
Like you
Why
can't
not?
really kill him. Like even when you
why
stake
not?
him. Well, in the Universal horror movies, you stake Dracula, he kind of turns into a withered corpse. But if you pull the stake out, he comes back to life.
Okay, but
Oh.
like, what about sunlight?
I don't know. Maybe the dust can come back to life. It's got some blood on it.
What about decapitation?
But they kill him at the
Head
end of
grows
the movie.
back. Well, we'll talk about that when we
Okay,
get
okay.
there. Yeah.
But yeah, so
Because there's some backstory that I don't know if
Oh,
another
okay.
Dracula film had had
Pretty
before.
great
Perhaps
backstory.
forgiveness comes into play, which finally allows him to die.
we do get some scenes of him wandering through New Orleans, and he's loving it.
like, I love this place,
I know.
basically.
I was expecting him to say, "I could get used to this place."
Yeah.
The game is on. Wait, have you guys ever seen Dracula Untold?
Yes.
Yeah, although I don't
They
think
say
we
that
finished
multiple times in the movie. They're like, the game is on.
it. Did we watch
Really?
the whole thing?
I can't remember.
Luke
It
Evans,
ends in the
right?
present. It ends in the present with someone going, the game is on.
I don't remember. I feel like I fell asleep halfway through, but I was liking it.
Yeah, and he's watching like new metal videos on the big screen.
Yeah, and he's digging it.
I wanted him to say like, "Oh, I could,
Yeah.
I gotta love this place."
Well, he's looking at the Monster Magnet video and he goes, brilliant.
I mean, this is basically exactly what happened in Queen of the Damned. with the
This is
set.
way better though.
Only he says, "I want to be a new metal star," and Gerard Butler doesn't.
He ain't got time for that.
He has ladies
He's
to
got the ladies.
bed.
So he goes to the Virgin Metal Store and Metal Store.
Virgin Megastore.
April wishes the Virgin Metal Store.
He
Metal
walks in
offshoot.
and it's like they're playing this Matrix. And
And like, you've never seen a store populated with only beautiful women. There are
Yeah.
no men in the store.
And they just
true.
perk up. This is what I imagine it's like when Gerard Butler walks around anywhere. It's like,
Now?
it's like, girl,
They're like, oh, God, someone call security, please. What do you know?
He's saying if he looked like that, yeah.
oh yeah, it's like girls' heads are just like swiveling. Boing.
But he's got eyes for vitamin C. Lucy.
Yeah, he meets Lucy, and then he kind of remembers that she was the one that walked through him when he turned into a fart cloud earlier.
Listen, we pay for this visual effect. We're going to show it again.
Did you walk through me earlier today?
He walked through me, and he's like,
yes.
"I'm here for Mary," and then so Lucy's like, "Come back to my place," whatever.
Yeah, so she invites him back.
Yeah, and then they
Which
have
is the
this,
only way
like-
you can get a vampire to come into your house.
Yeah,
True.
or in you. They have a 0G sex scene. This is
Wait.
great.
I think, are you skipping over Johnny Lee Miller fighting a bunch of vampires in the Virgin Megastore basement?
I don't know.
No, I think that's later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in the next scene. So we do get the levitating sex scene
They have
here,
sex
which is
on the
great.
ceiling.
Which is sex with Gerard Butler every time, baby.
Yeah, you float.
You float
up to the
in the air.
ceiling.
We think in his bedroom he's just got like a wire harness that he wears.
You're like
Also,
spinning.
You know,
He goes,
like yeah, well, exactly. Also, like, hey, like vitamin C shows her tits in this, and it's nice to see nudity in a movie because it's so rare these days.
I agree.
It really is.
They should have.
I don't,
very-
I don't
it's
think
very
you
brief.
see vitamin C nude in the scene.
You see your boobs.
You see a
Do you?
boob.
I
see
just
it.
watched it earlier.
You
'cause
see a you see a nip.
we were
She's like rewinding.
We were looking at the hits
Back and to
before
the
we
left.
started.
Yeah,
we
back.
started. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
We need some
enhance.
We need some Butler dong in this scene though. That's,
Yeah,
that's
well,
what
no,
we're missing.
we need like
Has he
some.
ever,
like,
has he ever hung
ass.
dong in any of the movies?
I don't think so, but I'd like to see his butt.
I picture him waking up naked every day and then wandering into his living room and then just chugging like from a bottle of vodka.
I heard
like,
from a friend of a friend of a friend that someone started dating Jerry Butler because he was just like singing in the rain while like spinning around a like lamp in the middle of the night.
what?
Yep.
Saying
Like out,
he went
Outside.
outside and
And he's like, I'm singing in the
my God.
rain.
oh, he sounds like a lovely fellow.
who wouldn't love to hang out with him?
I mean,
Yeah.
I would.
It's probably his place probably has like hundreds of ashtrays.
Okay, now we're being very parasocial right now, but like, I would love to hang out with him.
What would be your perfect day with Jerry Butler?
Honestly, definitely going to a pub. I think that would be great. And yeah, maybe just like walking around and asking him about his like.
Would you want to like watch movies with him, like his movies?
You're
like, what movie you want to watch?
Yeah,
Jerry?
I would ask him what he wants to watch, and then we would talk about movies.
Yeah, I feel like we'd just end up at his place.
Greenland. I guess if you want to watch that one, bad though.
I have a feeling we'd end up at his place doing drunken karaoke till like 7 a.m.
That would be so great.
The Phantom of the Opera songs.
Yeah, and then you keep kind of falling asleep, and then anytime your eyes kind of close, he's like, hey, come on, get up here.
He seems
There's
like
no
such
sleeping.
a gregarious, fun fellow, and it's probably going to come out.
There'll be no sleeping in my living room, lad.
Because every actor in Hollywood is horrible.
Oh, it's terrible.
But,
no.
I can hold out hope that Jerry B is a nice man.
There's only
Yes,
two
a man
rapists
that
involved in
drunk
this
all the
movie.
time is probably nothing wrong with his personal life at all.
Well, I just realized Janie Masterson was in The Faculty, another Weinstein movie, so maybe there's a connection there.
Oh
Yeah.
God! Well, birds of a feather.
Great movie.
I do like The Faculty quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Okay.
Yeah, we get some. Yeah, we're the zero G sex.
Yeah, and this is maybe my favorite scene.
Yeah. And then
You already picked Dracula as your
Sorry.
favorite thing. You can't pick too many
Sorry.
favorite things.
This is my. There's so many good things in this movie. This is where Johnny Lee Miller comes to Virgin. We're back in the Virgin Megastore again.
This is my favorite thing, where Johnny Lee Miller is in the basement, and a homeless man comes up to him and is like, hey, can I have some change? Johnny Lee Miller's like, oh, sorry, I can't. And the homeless man is Omar Epps as a vampire in a costume.
And
Why didn't he recognize him?
he is hamming it up so bad. in this scene.
Everybody in this movie loves being a vampire.
Oh yeah,
It's true. Jennifer Esposito is like, her performance is like at an 11 once she becomes a vampire.
Yeah. But Omar Epps, this fight scene is great. So it turns into The Matrix. All the fight scenes are like, it's like, oh yeah.
He burns Omar Epps with like a silver thing, and he goes, "Ow!" like that. Like he's having such a good time. And then the decapitation.
Yeah, we get the I guess this crossbow thing that they've been carrying around for the whole movie has like a knife in the handle or something.
Yeah.
And he decapitates him, and then his head goes flying into a dumpster.
Also, notice how we haven't mentioned Mary, our lead character, like at all yet, because it keeps like cutting back to her, like,
And she's like,
like witnessing these things because she can like psychically see them. But yeah, and
But
then
she's
it's
not
like,
doing anything.
She's boring.
Yeah. So this is the scene right before this fight is the scene where she's walking and her flip flop sound is like,
Yeah. And I'm guessing she's about to go visit her priest for some spiritual advice, who turns out to be Nathan Fillion, and so it's very difficult to take him seriously.
Who never turns into a vampire.
No.
Well, it's a vision. He turns into Dracula.
And
and then turns back, but it's just her. She's just seeing things.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. They like pan over really quickly, and Gerard Butler spins around to face camera, and it looks like he's on like a Lazy Susan. Like
He probably was.
he spins
But
so
they
fast.
speed it up. It's very funny.
Yeah, and he has this like look in his face. It's great. Van Helsing goes to Mary's house, and then
Dracula's there.
Dracula's there. He's like approaching a mirror.
And Dracula's like, or Christopher Plummer's like, I'm an old man. I can't do anything. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where he's like, you're defeated by a mirror, old man.
Just like he was all those years ago.
I'm from Transylvania. Mary comes back to the house and finds him dead. Of course, it's just like a puppet. Van Helsing.
Well,
Christopher Plummer, he's
done.
He was in that fucking limo to the airport as soon as his last scene was shot. And it's like, do whatever you have to do. Take a life cast. I'm out of this movie. He probably has like his own life cast that he brings to like
he has like a closet full of them. Like John Travolta has a closet full of wigs.
he brings one to like each production, and he's just like,
Well, that's why they cast him on Knives Out, or not Knives Out. Yeah, the first Knives
Yeah,
Out.
Knives
where
Out.
he dies. He's like, oh, you can use my dummy. Here you go.
use my tummy. Shoot it. For all the shots where I'm not speaking.
Speaking of life cast, the Omar Epps head looked really good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
They made a really good head. I wonder who did the practical effects for this.
This is a
Gary Tunnicliffe.
Oh, he did a good job because
He's a Hellraiser guy. He directed not the last Hellraiser movie, which was that remake. He directed the weird. He directed a short where like Pinhead is like an old man just monologuing in a chair.
Okay. I mean, I have
And
heard
he
of
also
it.
directed Hellraiser Judgment.
Wait, was it the Bobby Moynihan Hellraiser?
No, that's Hellraiser Inferno. Wait, no, let me check.
The Adam Scott one.
Wait, the Adam Scott Hellraiser. That's Hellraiser 4.
Yeah.
Hellraiser. The Bobby Moynihan Hellraiser, it's faux Pinhead, is the one that's like a porno where they cut out the sex scenes out.
Oh God!
Oh boy.
We should do the Hellraiser films because boy, some of those are bad. Oh, it's Hellraiser Revelations.
Okay.
Pinhead looks
God.
so bad. Did you
Every
guys
time
see
you
the new
post that picture.
Hellraiser?
We
No.
still haven't seen it.
You know why? Because it was released.
Never came to Canada. Yeah.
It never came to
Yeah.
Canada until long after Halloween.
Yeah, and then by then we're just like,
I didn't
almost
watch
watch
it
it
either.
next
I should watch it.
I want to see it. I like that director very much.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So here, Mary finds it's a very good Christopher Plummer puppet, by the way. It looks just like him. And Dracula's there. He turns into a wolf, starts chasing her.
And then the wolf turns into a bunch of bats.
Yeah.
In a
Johnny-
very bad CGI.
Johnny Lee Miller shoots at it with like his silver spear gun or whatever the hell. And
Yeah.
it comes at camera. They really are restrained. They show a lot of restraint in these action scenes for the time period that this film was released in. This could have been way schlockier and cheesier, but they have just enough restraint, and it's just grounded enough that the action scenes like are really well done.
It is very influenced by The Matrix, though. And like it would have Matrix just came out 1 year before.
Yeah.
So like, did they just rush this production?
No, I
or-
think no. Patrick Lussier just likes Hong Kong action stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
guess
you would
so,
hire
yeah.
Peter Pao and
I guess
Koichi
that's so.
Sakamoto.
Yeah,
and those
there's
guys.
lots of wire work
Yeah. Yep.
happening. You know, good wire work.
Like,
So I think
like
he
it-
just brought it to the production.
Yeah, in
before
my
Matrix took
head,
off.
I can see like the really bad version of this. If you
Totally.
give it to some other director, and it would just look like shit. Hey, let's do the. And I during the fight scenes, I'm like, if they do like bullet time, I'm out.
Wait, was there ever slow motion bullet in this movie? I feel like there was.
I don't think so. There was
yes,
like
there
a
is.
bullet.
There's a slow motion
POV shot.
stake
Oh.
when Christopher Plummer shoots it at some random vampire when he enters the town hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There is like a bullet POV shot.
I think
Oh, I
so.
like that.
By
That's like Full Contact, the Hong Kong movie.
Yeah. So then,
Well, Patrick Lussier also edited Mighty Ducks 3, D3.
Great.
So they hide at a church. Dracula or whatever turns into bats. They hide at a church overnight. They end up in a library, and then I don't know. Dracula just arrives in like a big fart cloud again.
Well, here's where we start to realize there's some kind of connection between silver. What's the connection with silver
Yeah,
and coins?
Yeah, a bunch of coins falls on the street earlier, and Dracula is kind of like
He looks at it and like zones out.
yeah. So and that's why
Brilliant.
that's when April brought up that if you drop something, he has to count the things.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
like,
that's not what they were doing.
okay. It's revealed later why. But
Hold on to your seats, people.
my God.
You're only going to need the edge.
so Johnny Lee says to Mary, like, run, get out of here. And he's holding Dracula off with the biggest Bible I've ever seen in my life.
And he goes, propaganda.
It's gigantic.
It is a
so
big
big.
Bible. And it says like
but they
Bible.
establish earlier that like Dracula can't or doesn't care about religious stuff. He's just annoyed by it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is
he
weird
just-
they
because then the
did.
Bible explodes and then turns into flames and
He does
Dracula's
this
like, "Arr."
I don't know what he does. He opens up the Bible and then
Okay,
kicks,
here's my
he
question.
kicks its spine and then the pages fly out.
Maybe
Explode.
it was
That
a,
happens
it
to
was
books.
a it was a
They're under
contraption.
pressure. You open them and they're like,
Maybe it was one of like his
oh,
like,
maybe
like
yeah.
contraptions
Christopher Plummer
that
contraptions.
goes like flaming pages at you. You know, like Gambit and his cards.
Yeah, how would you like?
Yeah, Christopher Plummer's like, ho ho ho.
So
got my
you're telling me
Bible.
that Christopher Plummer carries around a gigantic Bible
Yes,
everywhere he
Explodes.
goes.
that's spring loaded.
That's spring loads.
Yes.
It's like does he
April's
also
got it. She figured it out.
Does he also have like a pack of gum that has like a snapping
Yeah.
like, spring?
Yeah, it's garlic. It's like, hey, Jack, you want some gum?
garlic.
Oh.
Oh my claw!
Yeah.
Wait, when did silver become an anti-Dracula thing?
I don't know
Because
if
that's
it ever
also
was.
in Blade, I believe, that the bullets
Oh, yeah,
are
you're
silver.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was werewolves.
It was.
Yeah, that's a werewolf thing.
I didn't know it was Dracula. Whatever. So they end up on this rooftop above, like, I don't know, Mardi Gras or something like that.
Dracula's brides are there, and
Oh yeah,
like,
so there's a
having
chase
fun.
through a graveyard, and there's farts, clouds, and stuff like
Because you're
that.
in New Orleans,
Yeah.
you have to go to the graveyard.
There is a funny scene where they're in Mardi Gras and everybody's looking up at the balconies, trying to get girls to show them their boobs. And Johnny Lee Miller is like walking around the crowd, and there's this one extra. And they dub his like his voice, and it's like, yeah, come on, show me the boobs, yeah, come on.
I miss that. I love that kind of stuff.
It's bad.
It's really good. So yeah, it's like
Even Vitamin C's the vampire's bride now.
Yeah.
Now
She's
there's
like,
the
as
three
we
brides.
go on.
We remember
So there's this.
How does the song go, April?
all the times we've
We've-
had together.
How old was Vitamin C when she sang that song?
Oh,
She was
probably
not in
like
high school.
30.
Yeah.
Really? Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Graduation, 1999. Vitamin C age in 1999. Please let it be 35. 27 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't a very good song, but it just exploded. Like
And that was like her only
everywhere.
hit,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Unless people
Okay.
are like, oh, the second album has the good cuts on
Okay.
it.
Well, that explains why I've never heard of it.
I think
Yeah.
she did a song on the Digimon movie. I think she did.
April would know.
I'm surprised she didn't do one for this movie.
Oh, that'd be great. In the scene where
Yeah.
she's putting in the Virgin Megastore, she's putting her own albums on the shelf.
Are you joking or is that
No,
real?
that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? God.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
That's funny.
It's a little in-joke for the fans.
I guess.
The
A
Vitamin
little
C
in-joke.
fans.
In-joke for the fan.
Yeah, the fan. Hey, listen, April and me are not kidding. This played, I wonder what year it stopped. And they're like, all right, it's only Green Day from now on.
Every school
no more
dance,
Vitamin
yeah,
C.
every school dance and like every graduation, like
Wow.
school dance. Obviously, they played.
Yeah,
it.
every year of high school, it played every year.
Yeah.
So it had a run. That's going.
They did, yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta look this up after we record.
We'll watch
here.
the music video.
Ugh, okay.
It's like her walking in slow motion. Wait, I
Yeah.
played it during
Yeah,
my
you did.
marathon
I remember that.
because I said that Will Sloan had died, and I played a montage over that song with photos of him.
I want to see. Okay, if she did a song for this movie, and then the music video would be her.
Oh, and like Dracula's in it? Like
Yes,
she's like
yes.
looking over to the side.
She'd be like wandering around like a cemetery at night.
Yeah.
And then
it just cuts the footage of the movie.
yeah, and then it would have like some action scenes and stuff. And then like, Jerry B would be in the music video, and he'd be
Only at the end though. Like he like turns the corner and he's there, kind of like
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren in the who sings that song of Universal Soldier?
I have no idea.
It was you.
I think it's
all
Ice
along.
Cube.
Oh, what? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe somebody else. But yeah, they don't do they still do that? Like when I was a teenager, every movie had a music video.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did one for Suicide Squad, and it was so
they did?
embarrassing. It was just as I'm describing now, except it was Jared Leto as the Joker.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And he goes to like a club with some rapper, and it's just him, like shots of him, like thinking he's looking cool. It is so embarrassing. Like I can't.
Yeah,
I just
I
get.
think it does still happen now, but
Yeah.
it depends on the movie.
I don't think so because there's not really any music video stations anymore. Oh, people are going to yell at me. The song I was thinking of was Body Count by Ice-T and Ernie C.
Okay.
That was on the Universal Soldier soundtrack, and there's a
Wow.
music video where they meet Dolph Lundgren as Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh my god! Remember they did the AC/DC one for Last Action Hero and had Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I've never seen that one.
Oh wait, yeah, and he gets on
Yeah, that
stage.
sounds about right.
He gets on stage and then he grabs Angus Young's guitar and then he morphs into Angus Young. Like I'm not even joking. It's like a bad like '90s morph, and he like
It cost $300,000.
he's like wearing the schoolboy outfit, but it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
Oh
he's
my
like
God.
he's playing guitar. And then they did another one for Terminator 2, where he's wandering around as the Terminator at a Guns N' Roses concert, like through the crowd and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I vaguely remember that.
Can someone make a playlist of all of those and then play them during a stream? Someone do that, please.
But so it needs the actor from the movie needs to be in the music video.
Yes,
though,
yes.
Exactly.
right?
I mean,
Okay.
there's so many examples.
Because it won't be like there was a song, "A Life Less Ordinary." Remember that movie, the Danny
Sounds
Boyle one?
Familiar, but I did
There was
not
a music
see it.
video, and I know that someone famous directed it because it was on one of those music video director DVDs, and
Right.
it just had clips from the movie all over it. So None of that. We want them.
Yeah,
in
it
the
has to be in the music video.
Yeah.
All right, so wait, they're on the roof. Dracula's there.
Okay,
There's
we
like this
have to
big-
get to the big
big
epic
reveal
conclusion.
time.
There's like a big neon like crucifix.
And by the way, Jesus looks like shit on this this sign.
On this crucifix? Okay.
He looks weird.
Well, he's like neon.
It's like a weird picture of him. That's what I'm saying.
April's like, he's shiny and weird. It's like, well, Jesus has always shined his light into our lives, April.
So yeah, Jerry V gives Mary the big reveal here, and we flash back. Who wants to take this?
She's like,
amazing.
Dracula, how could you betray us like that? You're like some kind of Judas. And then Dracula's like, oh, well, I have a story to tell you.
He turns away from her to camera. You're more right than you know.
You're probably wondering how all this got started.
Hey, that's me. I'm at the Last Supper.
Flashback to him at the Last Supper with a beard, and he's like turning around.
He turns to camera like, what?
So, I mean, props to this movie for doing something different.
Yeah, sure.
Dracula is Judas.
Now, where do you guys stand on Judas?
Oh, I love
Considering
Judas.
that
What do you mean?
God forced him to do this and then punished him for it.
Yeah, I mean, he got a real raw deal, but I mean, obviously.
Love Judas' singing voice.
Exactly.
Let's be
Jesus
honest.
Christ Superstar, as I've gone on and on about. He has all the best songs. I
Yeah.
mean, and anyone who's ever played him is just like, I mean, we saw that live
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple years ago.
You gotta
It was
have some pipes.
Fucking-tastic. But yeah, it was totally not his fault. He was just doing what he thought was right, and he was calling Jesus out on his shit, and he needed to be called out, and then he ended up dying for it. But then he became an angel. So how did he become Dracula?
Wait, did he become an angel? Is that canonic? I thought.
Well,
according to
it
Mr.
isn't-
Mel
it
Gibson,
isn't-
he's burning in hell right now.
In the musical, he definitely went to heaven.
Oh, because at the end when he sings that song on the stairs.
Yeah, and he's like in an angel, white Elvis kind of outfit, and he ascends down from heaven on a big cross. Mm-hmm. So he definitely went to heaven,
But he hung himself. Isn't that part of the
It's
story?
true.
And that's the worst sin you can do.
Yeah, but he had a lot going on. I mean, like, anyway, the whole silver thing is the priests threw the silver at him, and that's the price that
was
he
his
paid
payoff.
to give up Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you think Judas spent on that money? Like if he was Jerry Butler during that time?
I don't think
alcohol.
I don't think he did because it doesn't when he hangs himself doesn't like the pouch of silver like fall from him or
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
Yeah, but how did he become a Dracula?
I don't know. I can't remember.
God cursed him for betraying Judas.
Yeah, maybe
I guess.
he curses
like,
God.
Yeah, it's a little weird that like he does all this stuff and then it's like you're Dracula now. It's like wait, what?
Well, because the I think the rope breaks.
Yeah. So Patrick Lussier, the director, writer, clarified this on the commentary that they shot Dracula, aka Jerry B, going "I'm sorry" right before he dies, and by doing that, that allows him to finally die. I guess.
Okay, that's.
Are you
that's
talking about
weird.
in present day?
No.
Yes, in the present day.
Yeah.
Really?
So
like, because you need to ask for forgiveness to be forgiven.
yeah.
So-
So he gets hung
Oh.
again on the neon Jesus sign. Mary, by the way, Mary. That's obviously a reference to Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. Well,
She becomes a
Yeah.
vampire because she lets Dracula bite her, and then she does a switcheroo with Johnny Lee Miller to get him, after he is fighting the brides, he fights Dracula, and they get him hung up on
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
like the crucifix kind of like teeters over and is hanging over the street. Dracula is hung. Mary has like a fall. It's like they thought this was going to be like the new Die Hard fall. It's like slow mo
Yeah.
and she just lands on the concrete and it's so funny.
she's a vampire, so she can.
Yeah, she's a
land.
vampire, but she just lands wearing her jorts and like flip flops on this like cardboard sidewalk, which kind of just buckles underneath her. It's really funny.
But then, so instead of saying "I'm sorry," he says,
I release
you. So he's able to just de-vampire her, and then her eyes turn from red to white,
and then back to normal.
and I
again.
don't really know what that means because at the end she's like got crazy eyes. So what is she?
is she still a vampire?
I
What is
think it's-
going on?
Yeah, it's like she's
It's
no
not
longer
that-
like tied to him, I guess, or something. I don't know. Yeah,
It's really not
you got
explained.
me. But yeah, and then sunlight comes, hits him, and he goes up.
But yeah, it would have made sense if he like repented or something.
I don't know. Maybe they just did a few different takes, and this is the one they went with. But good Jerry B. dummy that's going up in practical flames.
Yep. So that's nice to see.
It's good. And then we get some like horrible sequel setup.
Is that what that was?
Doesn't pay off though. She's not back in the sequel.
Thankfully, because she has no charisma, and it's like I don't want to see a sequel with you. I want to watch a movie with you, and
she sucked
without Gerard Butler. Give me a break.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah, no Gerard Butler in the movie.
So
I think you're supposed to assume it's Gerard Butler, but the Dracula is so burned in the second one because he's kept under lights the entire time. You never really get a human face in it.
Well, it's kind of like Renfield or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But she's like, I'm going to take the mantle as Ben Helsing, and I'm going to go on being a vampire hunter or something. Who knows? Good luck.
Yep, and that's how it ends.
Good luck, lady.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of fun how Gerard Butler ends, but like, the ending is a a poof.
No,
but that's okay.
They have a good like kind of Matrix fight scene on top of the roof with
some
the brides.
of the brides get their heads cut off.
Yeah, Johnny in the Middle's got like garden shears. He cuts their heads off. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But overall, a very, very fun movie.
Yeah.
To watch.
I mean, the only boring parts are the parts with Mary.
Mm-hmm.
I wish
else
there was
is
a
really
Virgin
fun.
Megastore I could go to right now.
Yeah. Boy, it worked. That advertising worked.
When the Virgin Megastore isn't on screen, everyone should be asking, where's the Virgin Megastore?
This movie was really, it was really, really fun. And like, check it out if you ever thought it was stupid, because I was one of these people who thought it was stupid, and I should have given it a chance.
Yeah, I should have known that Gerard Butler would never be in anything that was shit. He'd never let us down.
No, he never has, and he never will.
Never will.
You've never let us down with his A- movies.
Yeah. So we watched this movie we rented it on iTunes, but in Canada it's also available for free on the CTV app with commercials.
You can watch it with ads.
Yeah, if you want to watch
app.
it with commercials, which we did.
Or you can own the DVD like I do, and you pop that in and give it a watch.
That's right. So if you want to email the podcast, we're at nosuchthingasabadmovie@gmail.com, and we're on Twitter at No Such Thing Pod, and Instagram and Blue Sky at No Such Thing Pod. And consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/No Such Thing As A Bad Movie. And if you subscribe to us on the $5 level, you get a bonus episode every 2 weeks. And we just previously did one on just like things we've been watching recently. And we're going to be talking about video games next week. So you want to hear about what we've been playing? Tune into that. And there's a whole bunch of other extra content on there, including Q&As and commentary tracks and all kinds of stuff. So check that out. And if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky at April Edmansky.
You can find me everywhere under Justin DeClue, DECLOUX.
You can find me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA.
And that's it for this week. We're going to bring lots more spooky content more,
into November.
More stuff into November.
Wait, when is Thanksgiving for Americans again? I can never remember.
I think it's
sometimes
next
in November.
Week.
Is it right after
that's Halloween?
I think it's next week.
Oh, I searched it and it's like, oh, your Thanksgiving already passed. No, not Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
American Thanksgiving.
Google won't even tell you.
November 23rd.
Oh, so it's the end of November. Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's not happening for a while. But anyway, have a good Halloween. And we will have, like I said, we'll do more horror movies coming up. Sorry about last week, which we didn't have an episode coming out. But, time will forget that. So I'm April Edmansky.
Wow, now you've set it in stone.
Yeah,
Time will never forget.
The internet is forever. April.
I'm April Edmansky.
You never said what movie it was, right?
No.
Good. People will just have to wonder. No hints either.
It doesn't matter. I'm April Edmansky.
I'm Justin DeClue.
I'm Colin Cunningham.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad spooky movie.
Justin Demon DeClue.
There's no such thing as a bad Jerry B movie.
That's right.
A-.
Jerry B+.